Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about operator physics. The first thing which we need to know is about the eigenvalue equation. Eigenvalue equation is actually there is an operator A which is operating on a function psi and we are getting a constant value and again the same function. First we need to know what is an operator. Every physical quantity can be represented in terms of an operator. The basic significance of operator we can say in terms of symmetry, which we can say is more helpful in classical mechanics. When we will deal about the Poisson brackets and we will find the commutation relation between different physical quantity, then you will understand it more better. Here in this case, there is an operator A which is operating on a function psi, and if we are getting the same function, then and only then we can say that it is an eigenvalue equation. And we are going to get a constant value. This value is called the eigenvalue. It is also called an operator. It is sometimes also called eigenoperator. Okay, the famous in quantum mechanics, the famous eigenvalue equation is h cap psi is equal to E psi. H cap is the Hamiltonian and E is the energy eigenvalue. See, if we are not getting the same function, then we will not call it as an eigenvalue equation. If and only if we are going to get the same function, then we will call it as an eigenvalue equation. Fine. Second, we are going to learn about linear operator. Suppose A is the linear operator and it is acting on this C1, Psi1 and C2, Psi2. Psi1 and Psi2 are two functions and C1 and C2 are two constants. Then we are going to get what? A cap operating on C1, Psi1 separately plus A cap operating on C2, Psi2 separately. Then we will get C1 is a constant, we will take it outside. A cap operating on Psi1 and C2 is a constant, we will take it outside. A cap operating on Psi2. Okay. So now we are taking an example. We are considering this operator A cap as d by dx. It is the first derivative, which is acting on this function C1 Psi1x plus C2 Psi2x. C1 is constant, C2 is constant. So we can take it outside. C1 ddx of Psi1x plus C2 ddx of Psi2x. So this is clearly we can see is matching with this. Like C1 we are taking it outside. Here A cap is ddx and Psi1 plus C2 we are taking it outside. A cap ddx and Psi2. So we can say what ddx is a linear operator. Now third we will see non-linear operator. On C1 Psi1 plus C2 Psi2 will not be equal to C1 A cap Psi1 plus C2 A cap Psi2. Just the opposite of the linear operator. C1 C2 are constants and Psi1 Psi2 are functions. Now for example we can say squaring operator. Suppose A cap is a squaring operator, which means that when A cap is going to operate on any function, it is going to square the function. Like A cap is operating on this, after operation this will be squared. So after squaring this, what we will get? C1 Psi1 square plus C2 Psi2 square plus like A square plus B square plus 2AB. In that formula we can say. So like this is a square. So individually I can say what? A cap operating on C1. Why? Because A cap is a squaring operator. If I remove this A cap, I will get what? C1 Psi1 square. So this can be written as this. This can be written as this, and we are getting an extra term of plus 2 C1 Psi1 plus C2 Psi2. So we can say what? This is not equal to this. Our condition was what? For linear operator, our condition was A cap when operating on two functions and two constants are there. Individually I will get what? Sum of this two, and there is no extra term. But for non-linear operator we said this must not be equal to this. Exactly this we are getting here. This is not equal to, right? This is not equal to, because why? Because we are getting an extra term out here. I hope you are understanding what I am saying. Just look at it once. You will understand when A cap is a squaring operator, when we are operating out here, we are getting this three terms basically which is not equal to this two. So we can call this squaring operator as a non-linear operator. Okay. Next we are going to discuss about anti-linear operator. Now what is that? Initially we get to know about linear operator, non-linear operator. This is anti. This actually is what? When an operator A cap is operating again on C1 Psi1 plus C2 Psi2, we are going to get what? Just like linear operator only, C1 which is the constant quantity outside, operator A cap operating on the function Psi1 plus C2 which is the constant quantity outside, operator A cap operating on Psi2. But here C1 and Psi2 are the complex conjugation of C1 and C2. What does that mean? Suppose C1 consists of, suppose the constant C1 is equals to 3i. Then C1 complex, we can say it will be minus of 3i. Nothing, just where you will see I, just here you will substitute with minus of I. This means complex conjugation. So C1 and C2, they are going to be replaced by their C1 star and C2, that is the complex conjugate. I hope you understood this. Fine, you understood this? Okay. This is the example of the eigenvalue equation which I have already described in point number 1. A cap, that is the operator, I am describing it by a square matrix, and psi, that is the function, by a column matrix. I hope you know that this is called a column matrix and this is called a square matrix. Why? Because it is a 2 into 2 matrix. When m is equals to m, this is 2 into 2 means any matrix is represented in m into n, m rows and n columns. When m is equal to n, we call it as a square matrix. It can be 3 into 3, 4 into 4, 2 into 2. Fine. So this is a 2 into 2 square matrix. Now A cap psi, if I am operating this function on psi, what will I get? 3 into 1 plus I into I. 3 plus I square minus 1 into 1 plus 3 into I. Minus 1 plus 3i. I square equals to minus 1. I hope you know that I equals to root minus of 1. So I square equals to minus 1. So 3 minus 1 and minus I plus 3i, you will get 2i. 3 minus 1 is 2 and here already there is 2. So I can take 2 common. So I will get 1 and I. This is the original function which we have considered. So we can consider this as A cap psi is equal to A psi, where A is the constant value 2. So this satisfies the eigenvalue equation criteria, that when A cap, any operator operating on a function psi, we are getting the same function psi with a constant value, then we can call this as an eigenvalue equation. Fine. Two important things to remember, that the operator, when we are representing that operator in terms of matrix, it is always a square matrix and the function is a column matrix. Okay, here I need to tell you one more concept. Like this is a m cross n matrix. So here every matrix is represented in terms of m cross n. Okay, m are the number of rows and n is the number of column. So here can you tell me what is going to be the m cross n order? This m cross n is called the order of a matrix. What you are going to write here? Tell me. Here you see number of rows are how many? 2 and column is 1. So we can write it in terms of 2 cross 1. So you see this 2 and this 2 is common. So what we are getting here? 2 cross 1. So the resultant will be 2 cross 1. This is a process that you need to check that we have done right or wrong. Whenever you are doing a multiplication between any two matrices, so here if it is 2 cross 2 and here if it is 2 cross 1, then the resultant matrices, this is common, so remove this. Resultant matrix will be of the order of 2 cross 1. So we are getting this only 2 cross 1. So we have done right. Okay. Now coming back to our operator physics, see point number 5. This is the unit matrix. I is the identity operator. When operating on a function psi, we are getting the same function psi. Also this can be written as psi I cap. The identity operator, if you operate from left or if you operate from right, you will get the same value. Identity matrix in terms of 2 cross 2, that it is always a square matrix. Okay, 2 cross 2 matrix, we will write 1 0 0 1. That is only the diagonal elements are present. Off diagonal elements are all 0. Only the diagonal elements we will get 1. Rest all are 0. This is called the identity matrix. Number 6, we will read about Hermitian operator. This is the most important. Suppose A cap is an operator. If this operator is equals to A dagger, this is called the dagger. Okay, this sign, this is called the dagger. So this is what actually it is, the complex conjugation followed by transposition. Yes, we will learn with the help of an example so that it can be more clear. Suppose I am considering a square matrix operator 3i minus i3. First you have to do complex conjugation. I already told what is complex conjugation. I is replaced by minus of I. This is the complex conjugation. So A dagger, it can be written as complex. Complex is there is always in this you will get this sign. You can call it as an star, or you can call it as an asterisk, whatever. So A star or A asterisk followed by T. T is here transpose. So first we will do the complex conjugation. In terms of I, you will get minus I. Here minus I is there, so minus of, you will actually nothing. Complex conjugation means I with the sign change. So I is a minus I, and minus I you will get I. Now you will do the transpose of it. Transpose means rows are going to be changed into column and columns are going to be changed in rows. So here you see 3i, this column is going to change the row. We will write 3i in this way. So we have written 3i in this way. And this minus i3, this is the column we are going to write in a row. So we will write minus i3. So this you see 3i minus i3 is same as which we have already considered as the operator A. So we are getting back the same. So we can say A dagger is equal to A. So we can say that A is an Hermitian operator. Another important thing which you need to know about Hermitian operator is the determinant value of Hermitian operator. When Hermitian operator is expressed in matrix form is always real. The determinant value will not get complex, means you will not get 3i. You will never get such a value. You will get a real number, suppose 4, 5, 6, whatever. Okay. So next is the anti-Hermitian operator. Anti-Hermitian operator is same as the Hermitian operator, just here you are going to get the negative sign. When A, that is the operator, is equal to A dagger, that is the complex conjugation followed by its transpose with the negative sign, we will call the matrix A as the anti-Hermitian matrix. Matrix is what? When the operator A is operating on A dagger is equal to A dagger when operating on A, and which is equal to the identity operator, then we can call that A is an unitary matrix. This also means when we say that A dagger is equals to I, that is the identity operator, we can also imply that A dagger is equal to A of A inverse. It has got the determinant value of unit modulus. Unit modulus means you will get the magnitude 1. Okay. Next is the non-singular matrix. And singular matrix, I am telling this two simultaneously. What is that? If the determinant value of any matrix A, if it is not equals to 0, then the matrix A is called the non-singular matrix. Vice versa, if A is equals to 0, then you will get singular matrix. Suppose I am considering A, the matrix as 0, I minus I 0, and if you take the determinant value 0 into 0, 0 minus, it's already minus is there, so plus I square equals to minus 1, so which is not 0. So I can say that A is a non-singular matrix. Now if you take this matrix, A equals to 1, 0, 0, 0. So 1 into 0, 0 minus 0, that is 0. So you can say the determinant value is equals to 0, and we can say this is a singular matrix. Orthogonal matrix is the operator A with its transpose A multiplied with its A transpose or operating on A transpose is equals to A transpose operating on the operator A. And you are getting that equals to its identity matrix. The operator A, when operating on its A transpose, not the dagger. Dagger and transpose is different. Okay, transpose means rows are getting converted into columns. Fine. And dagger means first complex conjugation, then transpose. But here only transpose. And that is equals to A transpose when operating on A, that is equal to the identity operator. See here, when we have learned about unitary matrix, it was A dagger. Okay. And when we are doing about orthogonal matrix, it is A transpose. This is a difference. And the determinant value, if the determinant value of A, if it satisfies this condition, then it is called as orthogonal matrix. And then the determinant value of A, if it is plus 1, then we will call it as proper matrix. And if it is minus 1, then we will call it as an improper matrix. For example, suppose I am considering this matrix 0, 1, 1, 0. Transpose of this matrix is what? This is the row which will be get converted into columns. So 0, 1, 1, 0. And when this is multiplied with this, then we are getting what? 0 into 0 plus 1 into 1. That is 1. 0 into 1 plus 1 into 0. That is 0. Then 1 into 0 plus 0 into 1. That is again 0. And 1 into 1 plus 0 into 0. That is 1. So this is what? 2 cross 2 identity matrix. So I am getting it I. So this condition is satisfied. So I can call this as an orthogonal matrix. Now if you see, this is an proper matrix or improper matrix. Can you tell? You see the determinant value 0 into 0 minus 1 into 1. That is minus 1. So this is the determinant value is minus of 1. So I can call this as an improper matrix, orthogonal matrix, but an improper orthogonal matrix. Fine. Next we are going to discuss some problems. Suppose two functions are given psi1 and psi2, and in question they have asked that are they orthogonal to each other. So what is the necessary criteria which needs to be fulfilled? Psi1 dagger, psi2 equals to 0. Like this is minus I1. So if you take the dagger of it, first you will do the complex conjugate. So you will get minus I, you will get here plus I. Then you will do the transpose. So this is the column. It will convert it into row. So we are getting it I1. Psi2 is already given 1 minus 1. So you operate I into 1I. 1 into minus of I, that is minus I, you are getting 0. So this condition is satisfied. So we can say that psi1, psi2 are orthogonal to each other. Next is, okay, this is homework. Okay, 1, 0 and 0, 1. This is psi1 and this is psi2. You check this by using this criteria, psi1 dagger, psi2. If that is equals to 0, this is orthogonal. And comment the answer in the comment box. Next is to check whether the given function is orthonormal or not. This is used to normalize any function. Okay, so suppose the function is psi1, 1, 0. Now psi1 dagger, psi1. Dagger of psi1, so there is no complex term. So we will convert this column into row. So we are writing it as 1, 0 and 1, 0. So what we will get? 1 into 1 plus 0 into 0, so we will get a 1. This is your homework. Check this. This is normalized. Okay, actually later I will tell you how to normalize any wave function. Fine. So I hope you got what is orthogonal and what is orthonormal. Now, method of finding eigenvalue and eigenfunction of a matrix. This is the eigenvalue equation, correct? So this A psi, we can write it as an A identity operator psi. Now, this if I take this here, so I will write what? A operator minus A identity operator common psi equals to 0. Now for example A, this is the A operator in a square matrix, 2 into 2 square matrix, 3i minus i3, and psi is the function x1, x2. I is the identity operator. This is also 2 into 2. See, if this is 2 into 2, you take this as 2 into 2. Okay. Now a minus ai, you see, if you do ai, what will you get? A0, 0a. Now if you minus this with this, what will you get? Only the diagonal elements you will get minus a. You have to practice this again and again. In the exam, you are not going to do like this. This is I, this is if ai. Then just remember one thing: the diagonal elements will be minus a. In some books you will get it as lambda also. You can take anything you want. Now 3 minus, this is basically the eigenvalue, a constant eigenvalue. Now 3 minus a, i's of diagonal elements will be same. Only the diagonal elements minus a. So now for non-trivial solution, obviously x1, x2 are not going to be 0. So this will be 0. So determinant of this is equals to 0. So see 3 minus a into 3 minus a square minus of minus I into I. So plus I square. I square equals to minus 1. So if you solve this, you will get these two values. I am not solving. If you solve, you will get A is equals to 4, 2. Now these are the eigenvalues. To find the eigenvectors, how to do? Suppose now consider this eigenvalue A equals to 4. To substitute this value here, so you will get 3 minus 4 I minus I 3 minus 4. Operating on the function x1, x2, we are getting 0. Basically the eigenvalue equation, we are just substituting the value of A. So what will you get? 3 minus 4 is minus 1, I minus I, 3 minus 4 is again minus 1. Operating on this function, what you will get? Minus 1 into x1 minus x1 plus ix2 minus ix1 minus x2 minus ix1 minus x2 equals to 0. For 2 cross 2 matrix, only one equation is enough. There can be a question said that for n cross n matrix, how many equations are needed to find the eigenvector? So the answer will be n minus 1. The answer will be n minus 1 equations are needed. For n cross n square matrix, how many equations are needed to find the eigenvectors? So n minus 1 equations. C is needed. See, from one equation you can get the value. So you are writing x1 equals to ix2. Now I suppose x1 is equals to 1. So basically psi1, it is written as what? x1, x2. So here x1 is equals to ix2. So ix2, x2. Fine, I am considering x2 is equals to 1. So I can write psi1 is equals to I1. Similar way, we will do for A equals to 2 and we will find the psi 2 eigenvector. See, for A equals to 2, 3 minus 8 was in the initial equation. So in case of A, we are writing 2. So 3 minus 2i minus I, 3 minus 2. Only the diagonal elements will change. So now 3 minus 2 is 1, I minus I, 3 minus 2 is 1. So you see, if you do the matrix multiplication, 1 into x1 plus I into x2, I x2 equals to 0. Only one equation is enough. From here I am getting x1 equals to minus of I x2. Now psi 2 is equals to what? Again, psi 2 equals to what? x1 x2. So here x1 is equals to what? Minus I x2. So if I consider x2 is equal to I, so x2 I will get I, and x1, that is minus I x2, minus I x2 is I, that is minus I square is 1, so plus of 1, so I will get 1 and I. Fine. I1 and psi 2 is not normalized, so we know how to normalize any function. Psi dagger psi equals to 1. Let n be the normalization constant. Okay, so you see psi 1 dagger. Okay, we know, we got psi 1 is equals to, we got what we got? We got psi 1 is equals to I1. We got psi 1 is equals to I1. So psi 1 is equals to I1 we got. So if you take the dagger of it, see, I will be minus I, complex conjugate, then you take the transpose, column will be converted into row. So minus I1, normalization constant I1, n into n square, minus in I into I, that is minus I square, plus 1. Minus I square is 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So normalization constant we are getting 1 by root 2. Similar process we will do for psi 2 dagger. Psi 2 equals to 1. For similar process we are going to do for psi 2. Psi 2 we have already calculated. What we got? 1i. So you see, if you take the complex conjugation followed by transpose, you will get 1 minus I. That is, the column will be converted into row. Multiplied with this, you will get 1 into 1 minus I into I, that is minus I square, that is plus 1. Again we are getting n is equals to 1 by root 2. Now, so normalized value we are getting 1 by root 2 I1, and for psi 2 we are getting 1 by root 2 1i. Psi 1n and psi 2n, these are the normalized values. Okay. Now to check whether psi 1 and psi 2 are orthogonal to each other or not. Condition of orthogonal was what? Psi 1 dagger psi 2. So I1 dagger, if you do I, will convert it into minus I, and column will be converted into row. So minus I1, 1i. Minus I into 1 minus I, plus 1 into I, that is equal to 0. So we can conclude what psi 1 and psi 2 are orthonormalized eigenfunction. So today's lecture we are going to end here only. This was the part 1 of the operator physics. Next we will study the part 2 of the operator physics. This lecture I have totally taken in English, so that there are many students who are telling me that ma'am, we are not understanding Hindi. So for them I have made this video. So I will share this PDF in the Telegram channel. If you have any doubt, please comment and please let me know. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. Okay, bye bye.